Bananas, bananas, bananas. I know that you've never heard this story before, but you're going to like it. There was once a king, and this king had never seen a banana. So, one day the king went on a big boat. He sailed down to South America, and for the first time, the king saw a banana. He tasted the banana, and he loved it. And when the king started for home, what do you think he brought home with him? A big bunch of bananas. When the king arrived home, he put an ad in the paper. He invited all his people to come to his castle to see the big bunch of bananas, for they, too, had never seen a banana. For a week, men, women, and children went by the hundreds to the king's castle to get a look at the bananas. When everybody had seen the bananas, the king wanted to give the bananas to someone. He couldn't give them to the sick because he didn't have enough bananas for all of them. He wanted to give them to the children, but there were so many children. There wouldn't be enough bananas for the children. Here's what he decided to do. The king decided to have a contest. To the boy or girl who would go for a whole week and not talk, to that child would he give the bunch of bananas. The contest started on Monday morning. It was to end on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. All day Monday, the boys and girls kept very quiet. Nobody talked. On Tuesday, one little girl started to talk. Then another girl talked, and pretty soon another girl talked. Then some of the boys started to talk. By Wednesday night, everybody was out of the contest except 2 little boys and 1 little girl. On Thursday, one of the 2 little boys had an accident. He kept saying to himself, "I'm going to win the bananas. I'm going to win the bananas." Then, all of a sudden, he forgot. He yelled out loud, "I'm going to win the bananas!" Of course, that put him out of the contest. On Thursday night, there was just 1 little boy left, and of course, the girl. All day Friday passed. On Friday night, the little girl was at home. The little girl's father and mother were saying how proud they were of the little girl, how happy they would be the next night when the king would give their little girl the bunch of bananas. And not thinking, the little girl cried out, "Oh, I can hardly wait!" Of course, that put the little girl out of the contest, and so there was just 1 little boy left. The little boy was wise. He stayed in the house all day Saturday. His gang came and called for him to go out and play, but he wouldn't leave the house. He was going to win the bananas. 5 o'clock in the afternoon came, and the boy went for a walk. While walking, the boy met the king. The king stopped to talk, but the little boy would not talk. He wanted to win the bananas. Then the king decided to play a trick on the little boy. The king hurried home and dressed up like a tramp, and he went back to the little boy. Of course, the boy didn't know the tramp. The tramp told the little boy that he was starving, and that if he didn't have something to eat right away, he would die. The poor little boy didn't know what to do. He did want to win the bananas. If he went home and asked his mother for something for the tramp, he'd lose the bananas. But this little boy was not selfish. He didn't care about himself. He wanted to be kind. So, home he ran. He told his mother about the tramp who was dying. Of course, his mother felt bad to think that her boy did not win the bananas, but she made some sandwiches, and the little boy hurried back to the tramp. While the tramp was eating the sandwiches, a church bell rang out 6 times. It was 6 o'clock, and the contest was over. Just then the tramp took off his hat, and the boy saw that the tramp was the king, and the boy began to cry. But the king was very nice to the boy. The king was so happy to know a little boy who was not selfish, a boy who didn't think about himself, a boy who was kind. Of course, the boy didn't win the bananas, but that night the king gave a party for the little boy. At the party, the king had a big long table, and the table was filled with good things to eat. The little boy's father and mother were there. All of his friends were at the party. The little boy sat up at the head of the table, all dressed up in a new suit, and the king put a crown on his head. Well, they had everything grand to eat at the party. They had turkey and lemonade and ice cream and chocolate cake and peanuts and candy and everything. And what do you think the little boy ate at the party? Bananas, bananas, bananas. So, it pays to be kind to others. Sometimes it even hurts you to be kind. You never know what person you are helping. Remember, Jesus loves everybody. He especially loves the poor. When you are kind to somebody, it's just the same as being kind to Jesus. Being kind to the poor is being kind to Jesus. And don't forget, Jesus will reward you if you are good to his friends. And when Jesus rewards you, he'll give you something better. Yes, something much better than bananas. Whenever, like the little boy, you lose something by being kind, then Jesus, like the king, always pays you back double.